so LSU will receive to begin this non-conference matchup. 5th-ranked LSU and the Warhawks of ULM. As Patrick Peterson and Morris Claiborne deep to receive. I should say Ron Brooks is back there to return.
You know, you pick your poison. Either one of those guys are sub 4.340. So whether it be Brooks or Peterson, dangerous return man.
Roddy Jabor will handle the kickoff duties for the Warhawks of ULM. And on homecoming night in Tiger Stadium, we are set to get underway.
On the Warhawks.
Jabor needs to reposition. It's a slight breeze in the air, but not enough to request any added assistance. Jabor, junior out of La Crosse, Louisiana, just down the road, and throughout this game you'll hear a lot of names of players who have played high school football here close by. That one's taken by Brooks. Brooks across the 30, 35, 40 before he is run out of bounds at the 42-yard line. A return of 17 yards, and that's where the LSU Tigers will begin the drive here on their opening series of this game.
First down, the Tigers.
So 1st and 10 for LSU. They spotted the 41, and Jordan Jefferson making his 10th start. He has started every game this year for LSU. 17-6 as LSU starter. On 1st and 10 from their own 41 against a ULM defense that professes to blitz on every down. Jefferson rolls out, and the pitch is Ford, and Ford will lose some yardage on that one. Let's set up that LSU offense. Good look. Of course, the running backs, Ridley, Stampley will handle things at the fullback position. Peterson, Shepard, Tolliver, the big tall guy, try to take advantage of his 6'5" frame across the front line. Barksdale, Durasic, Lonergan, Hebert, the son of the former New Orleans Saints quarterback. Bobby handling the chores in the middle of the offensive line. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Murphy, the ball carrier across the 40 and to the 42-yard line. Renea, quite a career for Richard Murphy, getting that number 18 number handed down to him from some greats in the past.
Pat Mock and Richard Dickerson and some great guys.
Talk more about that as the game goes on. And the ULM defense, Smith, Edwards, and Giddens. Lots of local guys you can see from right around the area. Peterson, Freelow, eBay handling things at the H-back position, which they call the Hawk in the Warhawk. On 3rd and 8 from their own 43. Ridley, the lone back. Jefferson from the shotgun. Short pass is complete, and it's not going to be nearly enough to get the first down for LSU. Ridley, the receiver, and so LSU forced to punt on their opening series.
And the thing is that UL-Monroe did blitz on every down, but they dropped those defensive backs and kept everything underneath, really forcing LSU to do some short passing and made the stop before the first down marker and forcing a punting situation for the Tigers.
Robert Nelson stands back near his own 10-yard line and receives the punt and gets maybe 2 or 3 yards at the most. Not an aspect of ULM's special teams that have really shined this year, Renee. They've struggled in that area as well.
Really have. And the thing is that, this offense has been doing well for the Warhawks, but it doesn't get much help from the defense and the special teams, and a lot of falling on Colton Browning. And you see a very special freshman when number 15 steps behind center.
So after a 42-yard punt by Helton, ULM, its first offensive series, and they will take over on their own 16-yard line. Colton Browning, the redshirt freshman, He's had an impressive first year, not afraid to tuck it in and run, and he does so on first down and gets about 3 yards. Browning, a very, very talented guy, 6'1", 196 pounds from Maybank, Texas, Maybank High School. Leads the Sun Belt 63% completion percentage and also leads his team in rushing yardage. It's been a sore spot for him, Renee.
He's also has an opportunity to pass up Stan Humphries and Bubby Brister, two well-known former Warhawk quarterbacks that moved on to the NFL.
On second down, once again, he keeps the football and nowhere to go. Kelvin Shepard there to make the tackle, the senior out of Stevenson High School in Stone Mountain, Georgia. What an impressive career it's been for him. He, the reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Week.
You know, he led the team last year, and he's done a great job. He's on schedule to top 100, and he had 110 stops last year, Schefter did. He's on schedule to break that this year.
3rd and 10, the crowd coming to life. Browning under center, now steps back. Certainly the noise factor coming into play. And the handoff to the right side as Tavares May gets the carry, but Matthew comes up. And Matthew, what an impressive freshman season it's been for him as he has just stepped in and really gone above the call of duty.
He's really done a great job. He's a sleeper, dog, out of St. Augustine High School in New Orleans. 34 stops, 4 tackles for losses, 1 interception. He seems to make the big play at the right time. Reminds me a lot of former LSU All-American Mike Williams, who moved on to the San Diego Chargers as a first-round pick in the 70s.
Patrick Peterson deep to return the punt off the foot of Aaron Munoz. Munoz hadn't even punted since middle school before this year. Former quarterback, and was the rugby-style kick. That one off the foot of an LSU player and out of bounds on LSU side of midfield at the 48-yard line, a 33-yard punt off the foot of Aaron Munoz. No score here in Tiger Stadium, and we'll be back with more from LSU Tiger Stadium after this network break. Welcome back. No score in Tiger Stadium. Insurance Network of Louisiana, without a doubt, the best place for your auto and homeowners insurance. Insurance Network of Louisiana represents numerous top national insurance companies to provide you with all your insurance needs. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana or log on to their easy-to-use website, lainsurance.net. So LSU getting ready for its second offensive series of the night in much better field position than the first.
And, you know, we've talked about earlier this year, people have talked about how much improvement the offensive line has made. Doug, last year, the offensive line or the offense suffered 37 quarterback sacks. This year, only 15. A lot of it has to do with the offensive line, of course, but the quarterback, the maturity of the quarterback. Jefferson is not holding the ball as long, and Jared Lee have made some improvements. But, you know, when you take a sack, that really pushes you back. It takes the steam out of an offense and things. So that's gone a long way to this success of the offense.
You know, you talk about Jefferson, you talk about Lee. Jefferson, certainly in his maturation as LSU's quarterback, plays exceptionally well here in Tiger Stadium. 10-1 in games played right here in Tiger Stadium. 17-6, of course, as a starter, but what a year it's been for him, as, like you say, he has certainly made much better decisions with the football. 1st and 10 from the ULM 48. Ridley, the ball carrier. And great second effort, but he's dragged down at the 47-yard line as Prelo is there to make the tackle. Prelo, the junior out of Shreveport.
And a good look at Ridley's second leading rusher, Doug, in the SEC with 811 yards. Boy, he's done it all. He's a good receiver, a good blocker. He's blocked as a fullback and, of course, a good runner.
Big kid out of Natchez, Mississippi, and Ridley once again the ball carrier. And that one will be close to the first down. And depending on the spot, and it looks to be just inches short, so that'll bring up 3rd and short for the Tigers.
Ridley's a guy that's not, he's used to carries. He had 52 carries in one game at Natchez, Mississippi, and in one game, 317 yards, and he had an Achilles problem, so he's a tough carry.
3rd and short. Looks like a busted play. To the air, Jefferson. Tolliver, the receiver. He's got the first down and more, and dragged out of bounds at the 16-yard line. That one looked a bit unconventional, did it not, Renee?
It did. There's a penalty flag on the field. A little fade by Tolliver, but maybe going against the Warhawks. We'll see what happens. But Tolliver's come a long way, and he is a weapon. Takes a lot of pride in his routes this year. He's really come a long way as a blocker as well.
All right, so the 23-yard play is coming back.
And eligible downfield, so that'll kick him back, and that was a big play. And you know, those kind of plays can really hurt you. Come up with a big first down now, and you can suspect that Jordan Jefferson just fakes as he's going to kneel down or run up the middle and throws it to Tolliver on a fade pattern as he was in single coverage for the completion, but it all comes back.
So now 3rd and 6, and that is Jefferson rolling out looking for a receiver. Hit hard as he unloads and right through the hands of D'Angelo Peterson, the big 6'4" Y receiver. As he can't hold that one in, that'll bring up 4th down for LSU.
And that probably would have been incomplete had he caught it anyway going out of bounds. His momentum was carrying him, and Jordan Jefferson did take quite a shot as he got close to the sidelines. Funny situation for the Tigers.
Punt team does come on, and Jasper, who's proficient at the pooch punt, the shorter punting chores, steps onto the field, and he stands back at his own 42-yard line. Robert Nelson, back to return the punt for ULM, stands at his 11-yard line. I saw punt, no return on this one as it gets inside the 10 and is touched by LSU at the 6-yard line. A 38-yard punt, just what the Tigers ordered. And now ULM will start this next series deep in their own territory. And we'll be back to Tiger Stadium in just a moment after we take this local break. No score, Tiger Stadium. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Coke Zero. The LSU Tigers get a taste of forward progress, and so can you with Coke Zero. The only drink to combine real Coke taste and 0 calories, Coke Zero. It's possible. And by Powerade. Powerade Ion 4, complete with 4 electrolytes lost in sweat, and the sports drink chosen to hydrate the student athletes of LSU. Starting field position for ULM has been their own 12-yard line. This one not even that good. It's their own 7-yard line. Frank Goodwin, the lone back, and Browning handles the chores himself as the redshirt freshman gets a couple of yards up to the 9-yard line. Guess who's there to meet him? Drake Nevis, the reigning National Defensive Player of the Week.
You know, we talked earlier in the broadcast that his senior stats really go favorably against Nadikam Sue and Glenn Dorsey, 2 guys who moved on as first-round draft choices in the NFL, and Drake is a senior.
No backs for Colton Browning, who has thrown for 200 yards or more in 8 straight games this season. And Browning on the quarterback draw. And nowhere to go. He is hit hard by Kelvin Shepard.
And that's another big play that Kelvin Shepard made on Colton Browning. And he's not really, you can see he's staying right with Browning. You see he's mirroring where he goes and shadowing him, and there's another big stop. And boy, I tell you, he's a really outstanding linebacker. Shepard has played and can play all 3 linebacker positions.
Third down conversions, 37% this season for ULM. 54 of 146. Browning tosses to the near side, and ULM will have the first down and more. Nice play there by Luther Ambrose, the speed merchant. And talk about fast. There's a guy who's got some breakaway speed, Renee.
He really does. You got to watch him in the open. You know, he's the kind of guy that he can run a 10-1-200 meters and a 4.23 40. But, you know, Patrick Peterson got sucked in that time and left the outside open, allowing him to get on the outside for a first down.
Gain of 17, the first down of the game for ULM. And you mentioned Ambrose. He finished 3rd in the NCAA 100-meter dash.
Product of St. James High School, Rick Gailey. Coach Rick Gailey coached him.
Browning on first down. Bounces back into the pocket. and unloads that one out of bounds as he throws it away. No one to go to. Great pressure by Frank Nevis
Incomplete.
as Todd Berry and his staff probably all this week they saying we need to do something about that big guy number 92. What are we going to do?
He wears number 92 out of respect for Reggie White, who he really loved, former NFL star. And good look right there at the coaching staff. Coach John Chavis will talk about how he's really simplified his defense and been the reason why LSU has done so well.
Now 2nd and 10 from their own 29. ULM of the Sun Belt Conference. Getting a taste of the Tigers Stadium crowd. Intercepted by LSU. The Tigers have it. And taking it to the house is Ron Brooks. Pick 6, 31 yards. Ron Brooks gets the score for LSU. The junior out of Irving, Texas, coming up with his first interception of the year, as he takes that one in for the 10th interception for LSU this season.
And he read the quarterback's eyes and flashed that 4-2-3-40 into the end zone to put the first points up for the Tigers. And boy, what a big play that was by Ron Brooks.
So LSU gets on the board first thanks to the pick 6 from Ron Brooks. Jasper on, and that one punches it through on the PAT. LSU with a 7-0 lead over the visiting Warhawks from ULM. And we'll be back to Tiger Stadium after we take this network breaks. Ron Brooks celebrating the interception. Insurance Network of Louisiana, without a doubt, the best place for your auto and homeowners insurance. If you like strong winning teams like the Tigers, you will love the team of professionals at Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana or log on to their easy-to-use website, lainsurance.net. 7-0 LSU, thanks to the Ron Brooks pick 6. And now Jairus Edwards deep to return the kickoff off the foot of the Tigers' Josh Jasper.
That was the 10th interception of the Tigers this year, and Josh Jasper, what a great job he's done punting and place kicking. What a great field goal kicker, one of the best in the SEC.
Beautiful night in Tiger Stadium. 7:05 remaining here in this first quarter of action. LSU, the 5th-ranked Tigers, against ULM. That one taken by Edwards at the 6-yard line. Breaks free across the 30 and brought down at the 35-yard line. Jai Eugene makes the tackle on the 29-yard return by Edwards.
Good look at Brooks right here as he takes it back for a pick 6. Facing a blitz, and Browning did not look off his receiver. He was throwing it intended for Leonard, and Brooks just read his eyes, stepped right in front of the pass, and just a freshman mistake by Browning, and Brooks made him pay for it, put the Tigers up on the scoreboard, 7-0.
9th interception this year from Browning. And now the redshirt freshman gets to try it again. 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line.
Number 19, Luke Russell.
And Russell, the ball carrier on that one.
Luke Russell out of Texas. They'll put some people in there. You may see, as you had earlier, Gooden take some snaps from center as well, the running back.
No gain, 2nd and 10. And Russell taking the snaps now. How about that? And he'll run that one straight ahead. So a little twist, if you will, Renee.
Well, Russell is a guy, as a freshman out of Ponder, Texas. He committed to UNLV, and when Todd Berry took the job here at UL-Monroe, he came along with him, and what a good athlete he is. 5'10", 170, just a quarterback draw, just running with his instincts, and nice tackle made by Ron Brooks, who returned that interception for the Tiger points.
Answers the question if something had happened to Browning, and the answer must be no, because now Browning back at quarterback. And so Browning on 3rd and 7 and has it batted down. Brooks right there. Boy, he's made 2 huge plays already. Well, 1 huge one, and then a nice defensive play right there. And that'll bring up a 4th down and a punt situation for ULM.
People may not remember when Brooks arrived here from Texas, he was an outstanding receiver, and a blitz here comes up, puts those arms up, bats it away, incomplete. But Brooks is really having a good game with a couple of tackles, interception for a touchdown, and now a bat down.
Munoz back to punt as he stands at his own 25. Peterson, the prolific return guy, at his own 27-yard line. Pushed back just slightly, takes it at the 26, breaks through the middle. Now trying to get to the outside, across the 40, across midfield, and run out of bounds on the ULM side by Munoz, who had to, after punting the football, come up and make the defensive play.
Chased out of bounds.
He is scary. Again, 257 yards against North Carolina, an LSU record. And every time he touches the ball, he has the potential to take it to the house. And it's not been for a saving tackle here on the sidelines. He may have taken it to the house. Patrick Peterson, you'll be seeing him play on Sunday next year or when he follows his graduation.
A 24-yard return. Jarrett Lee now in at quarterback for LSU. And the pitch and the whistle, and that'll hold play as LSU flagged for probably what is a false start penalty.
Prior to the snap,
Insurance Network of Louisiana, without a doubt, the best place for your auto and homeowners insurance. Insurance Network of Louisiana represents numerous top national insurance companies to provide you with all your insurance needs. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana or log on to their easy-to-use website, lainsurance.net.
That's the 59th penalty the Tigers have suffered this season. UL-Monroe with 77 penalties, another one. Make it 60.
dead ball.
Little issue there with the microphone on our umpire. However, that one against ULM, so we're back to square one at midfield. Looks like the series just started.
And I incorrectly said that was number 60, penalty for the Tigers, push it back to 59.
Well, you know what? 60 is on the radar somewhere. I can guarantee you that. Stuff that happens. Jarrett Lee from the shotgun. He'll pass, throw to the right side. Open receiver is Tolliver. And Tolliver has his second catch of the game. As Peterson steps in to make the defensive play. 13 yards on the pass play from Lee to Tolliver.
And a deep out to Tolliver, making his 29th grab of the season. He had 53 last year, but what a big play money receiver is with that touchdown catch, a pair of touchdowns against Florida in that big win.
And LSU's first down. Ridley, the ball carrier on that first down. And we want to mention our first quarter of action is presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana.
You know, one thing about Jarrett Lee, he's better when he gets, he makes a decision and lets the ball go. When he holds it too long, he becomes less effective. He forces throws and things like that.
Lee throws that one off his back foot, and it looks like Russell Shepard cannot dig that one out of the turf, so that one will fall incomplete. Jarrett Lee, 5-4 as LSU starting quarterback. Started 8 games as a redshirt freshman back in 2008. And Renee, here's another guy who's come a long, long way and really made significantly better decisions with the football.
Well, Doug, he's got 18 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. Unfortunately, 16 of those picks came his freshman year.
LSU 0-2 on third down conversions tonight. Lee, plenty of time, looks into the end zone, and that one lofted up and caught! Ruben Randall! Incomplete, actually. Thought he had that one. You can see Randall's disappointment as he looked to have hauled that one in for the touchdown. Coming off that big game over Alabama, such a performance for him, that would have been a big catch.
And that was just a nice throw. And that's something that hit in the hands that I think as the defender came over the top, that kind of jarred the ball loose. And that was Prelo who may have jarred the ball loose from Ruben Randall. He arrived about the same time that the ball did, and it falls incomplete. Nice throw by Jarrett Lee.
And so now a field goal attempt as Jasper steps on. This one is going to be from 54. And we've got a whistle down on the field. That one would be a career long if he were to connect. Now, he did make a 56-yarder in the spring game, but that one, of course, unofficial. Let's hear from our umpire tonight as he confers with LSU's sideline.
So that touchdown play is under review.
Okay.
And so we're going to see what happens there. Jasper comes out there. He's got a 52-yarder against ULL, to his credit thus far. But, you know, he's a guy, Doug, he wears, we talked about this earlier, he wears a dollar bill around his wrist and has it signed by all. You can see right here, the ball, does he come down in the end zone?
Boy, I'll tell you, I think that's a touchdown
that
catch
is
all the way.
close. You know, because he did cross the goal, and he had possession.
And the ground caused the fumble.
And he had it until he hit the ground.
Exactly.
So, well, they'll decide if he had possession as he was going down. That looks like certainly it's a good call to question.
Boy, some good angles here.
Good camera work. But as he comes down, he does have possession, or at least he has. It has to be inconclusive, though. And it may be tough to overrule that, but Les Miles figures it's worth the shot.
Randall, of course, had that huge game against Alabama, and this on the heels of that. Let's hear from downstairs. Hopefully. No, it's incomplete. They're saying that he did not have possession of the football. Boy, it doesn't get any closer than that, Randall.
Well, it has to be inconclusive, and I think is from what they saw.